जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जय यमुना तीरवनचारी। यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 16, Text 2. उत्तरस्य तनयाम् उपयेम इरावतीम् janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān uttarasya tanayām upayema irāvatīm janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān uttarasya tanayām upayema irāvatīm janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān. Uttarasya tanayām upayema irāvatīm janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān. Uttarasya tanayām upayema irāvatīm janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān. माता जी स उत्तरस्य तनयाम् upayema irāvatīm. Tasyām utpādayat sutān. Word meaning. Sa, he. Uttarasya, of King Uttar. Tanayām, daughter. Upayeme, married. irāvatīm, irāvatī. janamejayādīṁ, headed by Maharaj Janamejaya. Chatura, 4. Tasyām, in her. Utpādayat, begot. Sutān, son. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. King Parikshit married the daughter of King Uttar and begot 4 sons, headed by Maharaj Janamejaya. Purport. Maharaj Uttar was the son of Virat and maternal uncle of Maharaj Parikshit. Irāvatī, being the daughter of Maharaj Uttar, was the cousin sister of Maharaj Parikshit. But cousin brothers and sisters were allowed to get married if they did not belong to the same gotra or family. In the Vedic system of marriage, the importance of the gotra or family was stressed. Arjun also married Subhadra, although she was his maternal cousin sister. Janamejaya, one of the Rajarsi kings and the famous son of Maharaj Parikshit. His mother's name was Irāvatī, or according to some, Madravati. Maharaj Janamejaya begot 2 sons of the name Nyatanik and Shankukarna. He celebrated several sacrifices in the Kurukshetra pilgrim site, and he had 3 younger brothers named Shrutasen, Ugrasen and Bhimasen. Bhimsen too. He invaded Takshala, Ajanta, Takshashila, and he decided to avenge the unlawful curse upon his great father, Maharaj Parikshit. He performed a great sacrifice called Sarpa Yajna to kill the race of serpents, including the Takshaka, which had bitten his father to death. On request from many influential demigods and sages, he had to change his decision to kill the race of snakes. But despite stopping the sacrifice, he satisfied everyone concerned in the sacrifice by rewarding them properly. In the ceremony, Mahamuni Vyasdev also was present, and he personally narrated the history of Battle of Kurukshetra before the king. Later on, by the order of Vyasdev, his disciple Vaishampayan narrated before the king and the subject matter of Mahabharata. He was much affected by his great father's untimely death and was very anxious to see him again. And he expressed his desire before the great sage Vyasdev. Vyasdev also fulfilled his desire. His father was present before him, and he worshipped both his father and Vyasdev with great respect and pomp. Being fully satisfied, he most munificently gave charities to the Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarajatan Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखां नितां च। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरतुसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I welcome everyone for today's morning Bhagavatam discussions, and I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that I can speak in parampara as a glorification of the Lord and for the purification of my heart. So today's verse is like second shloka in the 16th chapter, and this is description about Maharaj Parikshit's birth, and last verse we saw birth and then now activities. So we will see about why there is a description of marriage in this, like different things about activities about different kings, their names, how the names and activities of great souls matter to us. And then also we'll see, as Prabhupada is explaining the purport, how the Parikshit got curse and he was killed by Takshak, and that is the reason Janamejaya later performed the yajna. So we'll try to discuss on these four subject matters. So just before starting, we know that how Bhagavatam is compared with Krishna. Krishna tulya Bhagavata vibhu sarvashray prati shloke prati akshare nanarthakay. The Bhagavatam description, the Bhagavatam in the Grantha is the Grantha avatar of Krishna, and every shloka and every word is so potent. It has different meanings which we can understand through the commentaries of Acharyas, and every syllable is potential to give us Krishna Bhakti. By reading this scripture, then we can immensely get benefited actually. In Krishna Lila Stava also it is said that Paramananda Pathaya Prema Akshara Varayate Sarvada Sarva Sevaya Sri Krishnaya Namostute. So Krishna, this Bhagavatam, which is not different than Krishna, to him is offering obeisance and saying that Paramananda Pathaya, by doing its part or reading it, we will get Paramananda. Prema Akshara Varayate. Every shloka can give prem. Sarvada Sarva Seva, and that is why it is serving everyone by making it available. And Prabhupada makes it available in many more languages. Like nowadays we have seen. 2 days back there was one devotee posted that now Gita is available in Bali Lipi something. Brave Lipi something. Bravery? Braille. So for blind people, yeah. So making it available to more and more souls, that Bhagavatam is doing, and then Prabhupada is extending it to the more and more people. So here now this shloka is telling about Parikshit getting married and getting 4 sons. So first son was Janamejaya, and later three saints name is also given in purport. Three saints of three sons. Three Bhimsen too. So the name itself of Janamejaya, it is Janamejaya. One of the devotee from I think NIT Warangal, his name was Janamejaya. So when first time I heard name, what name is there, Janamejaya? People in the device only that Janma is also one misery. So Janamejaya, Janma ke upar bhi jay. We have to conquer over the birth. That itself is a very new concept for the people. Of course, the word Jay itself means conquering. We say not Jay. Somebody's name is Jay. So when we say Mahaprasad ki Jay or Jagannath Bhagavan ki Jay, so Jay means let me conquer over Maya. Like that it is. So in 11th canto, very nice sloka comes that how by accepting the remnants from Lord, his clothes, his Mahaprasad, his garland, then we can conquer over Maya. The shloka goes like this. Tvaya upabhokta shrugandha vaso lankara charchita uchishta bhojino dasan tava maya jayemahi. So we will conquer over your own Maya. He's telling to Krishna that we will conquer your own Maya by accepting remnants from you. It's like Maya is one Shakti and these are Krishna's paraphernalia, we can say. And we are taking one side of Krishna and conquering over other side. And he's telling to Krishna. So, and why the name Janamejaya? Because it has significance. Previous name used to have significance. Nowadays people keep so many different names. If you go one generation at least behind, then many names they had quite significance. But later then it is getting different names. One devotee was telling one person in Delhi, he kept name dot and comma. So what names they can put? They want to have some fancy names, that's all. But in devotee circle we see, they don't worry about what people will say. Because for outside people, it is a big thing. When devotees used to say, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? So they are more concerned of how people will pursue our sons or daughters' names. But devotees generally they keep, they don't feel okay. Arey, this is very old name or something like that. Recently over there, these two sons, Ram and our Ishwar Prabhu and Satish Nara Prabhu's son's naming was there. So I was thinking how he kept the name Ram. Because nowadays people are more concerned of RAM in their hard disk instead of Ram in their heart. So, and they are telling, and Prabhuji was telling, another devotee, Satish Prabhu kept the name Gaur Chandra. So if you see this big name and like, though it is quite important, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful and he has given in Kali Yuga this wonderful movement. So it is so relevant to us. But people don't find it relevant. And devotees find it relevant, that's why they don't bother keeping the name. So it was very inspiring. Even Vasudev's name. Vasu also looks different, but Vasudev. So names of devotees are so important, so glorious, because the name has significance. But in material terms, names don't have much significance. Prabhupada, when he was in his Varnas, in Vanaprastha, staying in Vrindavan, that time he wrote several songs. So one of the song which is famous as Vrindavan Bhajan. It was having 3-4 stanzas. Second stanza of it, I will just read. Everyone has abandoned me, seeing me penniless. So Prabhupada was not having any money that time. So his son and wife and other relatives, they were staying in Calcutta. And Prabhupada was not much related. They were their relative, but Prabhupada relatively was less related to them. So Prabhupada writes ahead, everyone has abandoned me, seeing me penniless, wife, relatives, friends, brothers, everyone. This is misery, but it gives me a laugh. I sit alone and laugh. In this Maya Samsar, whom do I really love? Where have my loving father and mother gone now? And where are all my elders who were my own folk? Who will give me news of them? Tell me who. All that is left of this family life is a list of names. So there also list of names. Prabhupada is telling, oh, what is use of this list of names? And here we see list of names. And in fact, some fourth canto, first among one of the 4 chapters, and even in 5th canto, 17th chapter I think. Chapter is more filled with the names of different kings and then how their descendants are there. So that names are different and this name is different. In fact, I remember when I was staying in with parents in home, that time one person, very old person, they used to come, every year they used to come, and they had this big book having names of all our previous ancestors. Their name, and they used to tell, okay, his father, you are all these brothers had this father, his name is this, their father's name is this, their father name is this. And many of our my relatives, they used to anxiously wait for that person. And after coming him, they used to feed him and give him some, not prasad, but some food like that. So he used to come, and he used to specifically come in summer vacations. You know, no? Then many people from their cities, they used to come back like that. So that time he used to come. So great people's names are so important because these people are Mahabhagavatas. In Adi Lila 1.99, Krishnadas Kaviraj says that how these Bhagavatas, they are important. These are Bhagavatas. And there are 2 potential things what we can, whom we can get the Krishna's love. These are 2 Bhagavatas. One is book Bhagavat and another is person Bhagavat. Ek Bhagavat bad Bhagavat Shastra, Ar Bhagavat Bhakta Bhakti Rasa Patra. Bhakti Ras, that mellow of devotional service, can be given by these 2 personalities. One is Bhagavat and another is this person Bhagavat. Dui Bhagavat Dwara Diya Bhakti Ras, Tahar Rudaye Tara Preme Haya Vash. They can give this mellow of devotional service, and through the actions of these 2 Bhagavatas, the Lord instills the mellow of transcendental loving service into the heart of living being. And that the Lord, in the heart of his devotee, comes under the control of devotee's love. So that is why their activities, like different activities mentioned in Bhagavatam, they are so important. And even though it is a description of different devotees' activities or their birth and how they took, they win over birth, how they are janamejayādīṁś, that is also very, very much pleasing to the Lord, and it takes us closer to the Lord. And that in fact glorify the Lord. It is said, Vede Ramayane Cheva Purane Bharate Tatha Adhavante cha Madhye cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. So this glorification of Lord, this is glorification of the Lord by glorifying his devotees. So sa uttarasya tanayām upayema irāvatīm janamejayādīṁś caturas tasyām utpādayat sutān. So these 4 sons Parikshit Maharaj begot from the Irāvatīs. So Prabhupada also mentions about marriage, their marriage. How the marriage with a cousin sister, that is father's sister's son, that is allowed, and that was there in case of Arjuna also. Arjuna married his cousin sister, and that is nowadays in today's life also we see some devotees also. We heard that they can the marriage with the cousin sister is allowed when the gotra is different. It is said that if the gotra is same, then there can be some in the quality, bad qualities comes like something like that is given. So this system is quite there in South. It is considered very aristocratic marriage if it happens with a cousin sister. It is considered very aristocratic. So that information about marriage is given. Now we will go ahead. So then Prabhupada is explaining that how Kali Yuga started after that. So when Parikshit Maharaj got a curse from Shringi, Brahmana. Actually, Brahmana is supposed to be very forgiving. This is considered the first quality of Brahmana. But that same Brahmana, he cursed. So that is why, from that point, when the Brahmana got corrupted, that time Kali Yuga started. Like that is given. And in Kali Yuga, the Sankirtan Yajna is recommended. The effect of Kali Yuga started from that. But even now, when it is about to start in full-fledged, that time also we can not affected by Kali Yuga by taking shelter of Sankirtan Yajna. The Kali dog, it is said, I think in Vaishnava song, Kali Yuga Pavan, Kali Bhaya Nashana, Sri Sachinandana Gaure. He mentioned that this Kali Yuga dog can be chased by the Kali avatar, that this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Prabhupada explained that how Parikshit Maharaj got a curse from Shringi. So, this Parikshit Maharaj apparently was not having his control over his mind and senses. If we see the 17-18 chapter explanation about how Parikshit got a curse. So apparently it seems that he was not having control over his mind and senses. But it was not like that. It can be seen as a Lord's desire. For us, we are not having control, and that is why we are getting attracted to the temporary things in this material world. Sometimes people are attracted to each other, like some friends, some people, they are attracted to each other. Why that attraction is there? Because they are part and parcel of Krishna. The attraction in the people of this world is there because they are also the part and parcel of Krishna, and that is getting reflected. And to come out of this attraction, to focus ourselves on Krishna's love, sometimes people may have some other alternative as, okay, they become little moral, they become more austere, because they understand that relationship of this material world are not going to satisfy us. So their solution is, okay, not to have much affected by them is by not having much relations, or they take the side of having nothing. But that will not satisfy until we have some positive attraction to Krishna, which is very important. And that if you don't have, then we are bound to get attracted to things of this material world. And they are all pervading. The absence of Krishna or pleasure we derive from Krishna has to bring us to the pleasure of this world. So, Govinda Virahena has to be there. Otherwise, these material senses are bound to attract us again. We can't be in between. We are considered that marginal potency of the Lord. We are not, somebody may say, oh, I am not much attracted to Krishna, and that is why I am detached. So he cannot remain in detached position. He has to get attracted somewhere, either to Krishna or to Maya. So developing attraction for Krishna is the only shelter. Otherwise, we are bound to get attracted to Krishna, attracted to Maya. But developing attraction to Krishna is so difficult. And that is why we see Parikshit Maharaj later in this chapter only, he says that how when he goes and he hears people glorifying about Pandavas, he feels very nice. So he feels nice, oh, my ancestors are being glorified as they are so nice devotees of Lord. And Lord also feels good for the devotee, for the people who are related to his devotees. So we also can understand that, okay, Krishna only revealed to those who are related to him, the pure devotees. So when we are related to them, or we serve them, we please them, then we have some hope. Like Hiranyakashipu, he was liberated in spite of having so much bad background. Still he was liberated because Narasimhadev gives reason, because he is related to you. Narasimhadev tells to Prahlad Maharaj that you don't worry about just liberating your immediate father. I have liberated 21 generations before you. Tri Saptibir Puta Puta. So somebody is related to devotees, then he is getting so much benediction. Dhruva Maharaj, it is said that, okay, he got Krishna because he got nice instruction from Suniti, and also he got association of Narad Muni. And other way we see later in 12th chapter in 4th canto, Suniti, when Suniti was going in the another plane ahead, Prabhupada says that Suniti, because she was in the part of giving some instruction to Dhruva Maharaj, and Dhruva Maharaj perfected later, that's why Suniti got benefited. It is other way around also. So we can learn from this that the best service for those who we love can be by becoming purer in our devotional practice, and by ourselves perfecting in becoming good servant of the Lord. And then Krishna will give that special mercy by which we can do good to others. So later we see that how Parikshit Maharaj, he was having such a background that tells that it was not possible for Parikshit Maharaj to become angry because of just he was not getting little water. Even later also, when Parikshit Maharaj was sitting with Sukadeva Goswami, 7 days he didn't ask for water. Leave about eating. So even later and before also, that if we see his life, in fact in his childhood itself, he was always like playing with the dolls of Krishna. He was so Krishna conscious. Prabhupada also mentions that how he himself, when he was small, always used to be Krishna conscious. He used to go taking darshan of Radha Govindji's darshan along with his sister. Whenever he used to play the kite, that time they used to pray to Lord that please take my kite higher. So seeing the previous situation of Parikshit Maharaj, we can see that it was not some material influence, but it was by the will of the Lord that Parikshit Maharaj got curse. He was completely realized. He was amadina manadena. He was not having any, he was not hankering for respect. And that is why after giving curse, Parikshit Maharaj felt that how I gave this curse. He was not understanding how the things happened. So, test of time. And then he goes back to his kingdom, and just before reaching to his kingdom, he understands that he has received a curse. And then he decides that instead of having some problem to other people in the family, let me take the full curse on myself. Like that Parikshit Maharaj says, and he goes for hearing from sages. And there he hears 7 days, and after that he was completely absorbed in Krishna. While he was sitting on the kusha grass and completely absorbed in Krishna, and then this Takshaka bird and snake, we can say, he comes to bite Parikshit Maharaj. But before that, he was so absorbed. So that is the perfection of our life, that we absorbed in Krishna conscious activities, whether it is chanting or devotional service. To the fact that Radhanath Maharaj says that bhakti means absorption. Many times Maharaj gives the one word answer or one liner like that. So bhakti, what is bhakti? It is said that bhakti means being grateful. Bhakti means being absorbed. So Parikshit Maharaj was so absorbed that he was not worried, okay, when that this Takshaka bird will come and he will bite me. So we also can learn to be absorbed in the devotional practice. Otherwise things become mechanical. When we try to be aware of the things, then we can come out from the mechanical way of doing the things. When we put the endeavor to become conscious, then we can come out from that mechanical way of serving or mechanical way of chanting. So that effort has to be put upon. When we put that effort, then we can immediately come out from the mechanical ways. In one of the Kartik Yatra lecture, Radhanath Maharaj was telling that our mere endeavor to please Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas, when we think, okay, I am not feeling that enthusiasm, but let me do this for the pleasure of devotees, for the pleasure of Guru. So let me try for the pleasure of Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj. That moment we transcend the modes. We may be in like tamagun or passion and even in goodness, but to the moment we think like this, we are immediately transcending the modes. So Takshaka came, and while coming, he saw in between the Kashyap Muni. So, but Kashyap Muni has a history that once he was just, he happened to see one tree which was bitten by the snake, very poisonous snake. And he has the boon, by the mantras, he could take away all the poisons of that tree or any living entity. So Takshaka has to somehow get rid of Kashyapa, otherwise he will do his job, later Kashyapa will take out all poison. So then he in the form of Brahmana he came, and he happened to offer some gifts, and then Kashyapa went away from that place. And it is said also that how before Takshaka biting Parikshit, before itself Parikshit Maharaj had heard about this. He was so furious that, okay, why this Takshaka did like this? And then he tells Brahmanas that I want to do some yajna by which all the snakes of this planet will come and they will die. So then he requests Brihaspati and other Brahmanas to perform yajna. And in that area, all the snakes were coming. They were practically flying. And somehow in our childhood we saw that how snake punch and snake punch like that, like sometimes our sound system does. Like that sound it makes, because that weight thing, no? Weight snake. So when it is burning, it sounds like this. So all the snakes were coming, but somehow Takshaka was not coming. So Janamejaya was asking that why Takshaka is not coming. Then he understood that Takshaka is heading with Indra. So then Janamejaya requests to Brihaspati, you chant the mantras by which he will come. Indra will come. Indra and other demigods will come. So then he chanted the mantra, and then Indra was sitting on his throne. The throne was started shaking. Then Indra got frightened. But because this Takshaka has taken shelter of Indra, and still because Indra somehow survived, and he was not he was saved, because later then these other demigods, they requested Janamejaya, please you stop now, because unnecessary two things is they said that you need not to interrupt in others' karma, that other snakes and this whatever happened with the Parikshit, In general sense, they were telling that you need not to be interrupting in others' karma. And second thing is that in your course of action of punishing Takshak, you are also punishing other snakes. So for that you need not to do this yajna. And after that also, when so Janamejaya agreed for that, for stopping the yajna, and even after stopping yajna, he could satisfy all the yajna, the people who came for yajna, all the brahmanas came for yajna. So but then Janamejaya said, okay, let it be, and all he gave due things to the other attendees, and then he stopped the yajna. Wanted to discuss. So for getting rid of, for us, as it is said that then Kali Yuga started from that place. The effect of Kali Yuga is quite visible in terms of various activity we see in this world. So that same effect can be get rid of by Sankirtan Yajna. So we do not do Yajna like Janamejaya did. So he was trying to counteract the effect of his, because he could not see his father, and father was killed by Takshaka. And for his satisfaction, Vyasdev, he was again made visible by other sages. But for us, to counteract the Sankirtan, the effect of Kali Yuga, we can do Sankirtan Yajna. And we can see various people getting affected by this Sankirtan Yajna. In one of the recent lectures, Chandramukhi Swami was telling that devotees were doing, recently they were doing one Jagannath Rath Yatra in London. So while doing Yatra, there was devotees very enthusiastically doing Kirtan. Many people who don't know about Mahamantra, they are like mesmerized, or what they are singing, and going with a parade. So our devotees were very enthusiastically performing Kirtan, and one unknown lady, she was least aware about Mahamantra. She was hearing this holy name, and while hearing, she was just feeling crying. So she was crying, and she was feeling, okay, this is something relevant to her. And then she started asking, what is this Mahamantra, and what is this Kirtan is about? And then she came to the temple, and she was asking that, I don't know, I have never heard this, but I felt this is something very close to me. This very close to my God, like that she was telling. And she started chanting from that point only. So Harinam Sankirtan, it is showing so much effect. Prabhupada used to emphasize it, that okay, we should have Kirtan all the time. While opening of Krishna Balaram temple also, Prabhupada emphasized that okay, you might be doing other yajna, and we are calling different brahmanas, because that is important for other people to keep faith. These other Goswamis and all, they will not feel it authenticate if we just have chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we don't have that brahmanas speaking mantras, then they will not feel it authentic. For that sake, we can call different brahmanas and do some yajnas and all. But for devotees, we can have chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra going on for all the time. Because that is the yajna for the Kali Yuga. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna Sango Pangastha Parshadam Yajna Sankirtane Prayai Yajantihi Sumedesa. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was spreading the holy name, that time when he asked Haridas Thakur that how the other living entities, those who are not able to speak, how they will get delivered. So Haridas Thakur mentions that when we do loud Sankirtan, that time even the birds, trees, those who are not able to chant the holy name, they will also get benefited. So by chanting of holy name, that gives so much benefit that this yajna has to be performed, and it has made the prime thing of spreading the holy name. So yes, this much I had. Any question, comment, or otherwise we can stop. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।